Well, thank you very much for joining us at the 2013 ICSC Retail Convention here in Las Vegas, Chicago. I'm Todd Siegel. I am with CBRE's Urban Retail Group in Chicago, and I'm joined here today with Mr. David Allswang, who's a Senior Managing Director of Holland & Knight, specializing in their retail real estate department. Mr. Allswang and his team completes transactions all across North America. I'd like to start off first by thanking David on his newly appointed assignment of overseeing retail transactions for the Xanadu project, the redevelopment of the Meadowlands in New Jersey. David, congratulations.
Todd, thank you. Great to be here. It's now called American Dream, the American Dream project in New Jersey, a very exciting retail project.
Can you tell us a little bit about your practice, David, and perhaps some of the things that you have planned for the Xanadu project?
Sure. Let me talk about the practice in general of Holland & Knight, where we've 240 real estate partners around the country, largest real estate department in the country. We have subspecialties, office leasing, retail leasing, financing. The retail leasing team is comprised of about 30 individuals in all of our different offices from West Coast to East Coast. We represent landlords and tenants. So we have a scope and a breadth that allows us to understand the issues, to benefit on the aggregate knowledge of our team, and to come to resolution quickly, which is good for landlords, tenants, brokers, lawyers. Everybody's happy getting to the final product. In particular, my practice represents landlords and tenants, but focusing on the landlord side, pension fund clients around the country doing open air malls, strip malls, even retail and office buildings, as you know, around the country, dealing from tenants anywhere from 1,000 feet to 100,000 square feet.
So would it be a bad form for me to ask you about your fee structure? I'm just joking.
Very reasonable.
That's not what everybody's here for.
What
we are here for, though, is that there are a lot of people that are, especially CB's practice, which has been ramped up in the last 2-3 years, focusing on the urban high street markets. Mm-hmm. And I know that you and I have had an opportunity to transact work both in New York all the way to LA. Yeah. And I'm curious to know, what are you seeing from a legal perspective on some of these high street, low vacancy, big demand type flagship projects?
Well, that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing the demand go up. We're seeing vacancy rates drop. We're seeing rents increase. So that's, of course, what you see, and that's what you present to us in the LOIs. But what we're seeing now is landlords being able to dictate terms more than what we've seen in the past couple of years. The exclusives are getting a little bit looser. The co-tenancy requirements are going down. And the tenants are being less demanding space that's becoming scarce. That's allowing us actually to get, as I mentioned before, to a final product sooner, with tenants recognizing the landscape of the market.
So, David, my final question for you, which is unusual, is that 10 years ago we saw more private cap, high net worth institutional owners that were purchasing on the Fifth Avenues and Michigan Avenue and Oak Street and Rodeo Drive. Today we're seeing more of the institutional player come into that marketplace, and you and I are put in a position to advise these clients on, sub 5 cap type acquisitions.
Right.
What are you seeing changing in that type of transaction?
We're seeing it from a little bit of a different perspective, because when we're getting involved on when they've already then made that acquisition. But when we see them make that acquisition, once they've acquired the property, they're anxious to fill the vacancy. We're seeing some high-end tenants. Sometimes they're negotiating to get the big box or the big tenants in there, but we're seeing very sophisticated players on both sides, which is helping the entire industry from an efficiency standpoint. It's exciting. It's really an exciting time. So remarkably different than a couple years back, when we had a lot of different players and, of course, a lot of banks involved. But when you get the real core players involved, our whole industry works much better. So
to sum it up, 2013 we're expecting is going to be a very hot market for urban high street. I think we're going to see more of the institutional players becoming involved.
For sure.
In that, and so I think we could take away from this that we could see it being a landlord market 2013, potentially into 2014.
I think that's actually absolutely what we're seeing, and the only caution I would add to that is we're adding a lot more square footage into the market. We have one of our largest offices is in D.C. I think Baltimore alone added about 1 million square feet of retail last year, and that's not uncommon. A natural response to demand is to build more, and then vacancy rates start to go down, we get some more space. So we're still, though, on a building stage. We're seeing rents continue to increase, vacancy rates go down. But as construction continues to expand, I would think 2013-14, we're going to then start to see the market come back a little bit.
Well, David, I'd like to thank you on behalf of CBRE and Holland & Knight for joining us here at the ICSC convention, and I wish everybody a great show.
Thank you so much. Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you, Todd.